Hi, I'm Richard Unmack. I'm one of the directors and financial planners at Freedom Financial Planning. We've been here since October 2003, so we're in our 21st year.
Hi, I'm Mark Stroke from Freedom Financial Planning, one of the original founding partners of the business over 20 years ago, and I provide financial advice to 80 plus client relationships in the group.
My name's Lee Jackson. I'm a financial advisor at Freedom Financial Planning.
Sean Lowe, I'm the mortgage broker for Freedom Mortgage Solutions.
Hi there, I'm Ryan. I'm one of the advisors here at Freedom Financial Planning. I focus on helping clients achieve their retirement goals.
My name's Mana. I've recently started at Freedom as manager of client service.
Hi, I'm Zoe and I'm a client services manager for Freedom.
Hi, I'm Georgia. I work at Freedom. I am now an associate advisor at Freedom Financial Planning. I have previously been the back office manager, but now am working my way into an advisor role, hopefully at some point. So currently helping out in the associate space.
Hi, my name's Catherine Stiles. I'm a financial advisor with Freedom Financial Planning. I've been with the company since 2013, so a while now, and absolutely love my role in helping clients.
And how did you get into financial planning in the first place?
How did I get into financial planning? Long question, long answer. But in short, after many years in banking, lending and so on, I moved across into financial planning within ANZ Bank originally.
I was working in lending, and I really liked the idea in planning of being able to help people really build and secure their financial future. I really wanted to make them feel safe and financially comfortable throughout their life.
Originally I was actually an engineer. I did 10 years of engineering and then I travelled around Australia with my wife, quit my job. When I came back I decided to have an early midlife crisis and came into financial advice.
I got into financial planning years ago back in Canada. I was originally training to become a stockbroker and realised it wasn't fulfilling enough because it wasn't helping clients meet their goals. It was just about selling a product. And so when I moved to Australia 25 years ago, chose financial planning as the career, and that's what I love doing, is just helping people achieve their independence.
Okay, so I started lending for the ANZ, just doing personal loans. My wife was moving up to Canberra. She wasn't my wife at the time. She moved up there, and just a chance, I had a meeting with a guy who was living there as a mortgage broker, and he got me straight into the industry.
I really like helping people manage their personal finances, assisting them with decision process making, working in the back end of the office. You get a bit of client interaction and still really hands-on with the clients.
I just landed in it by accident, but then from being in the industry, I have learnt so much and see the value of what we do to clients, and so it's really fulfilled my desire to help other people, and that's what's kept me in this industry.
My mum was always really into finance, so I got into financial planning because she was always talking about it and how to structure choices and how to save and how to invest money and what kind of impact that would have if you do that and you do it correctly. So I got into financial planning because I wanted to be able to give that education to other clients so that they could make an informed decision about their finances, to give them that freedom to make those choices and to be able to do what they want to do and not be constricted to one thing or another.
And how did you get into Freedom? How did Freedom come about?
Once again, Mark and Ryan and myself, the three original directors of the business. We were all financial planners at National Australia Bank, and we just had a business planning day one day for NAB, and we just started talking about maybe we should set up our own business. And
Freedom was actually, they approached me. So a friend of mine is a client, one of the financial planning clients. He knew that I might be looking for a change of employer and put me in touch with Mark, and the rest is history.
Okay, so I joined Freedom in 2004. I think I was technically the very first employee of Freedom. That came about after having just a brief stint at another financial advice place, and decided to join Freedom as one of the very first employees 20 years ago.
Myself, Richard and Mark, we all worked at NAB Financial Planning together in the business bank area, and we just got tired of working in a big corporate environment that didn't put clients' needs first. So we all decided to set up Freedom Financial Planning in 2003 with that goal in mind, putting clients' interests as the centre focus of the business?
At high school, I was trying to work out what I wanted to do and wanted to explore the finance side, and that's how I started my Bachelor in Accountancy, and then got introduced to what financial planning was, decided to pursue a double degree in that, and then while completing my last 18 months was actually introduced through a lecture called Striver on getting into the industry pre-graduate, and through there is where Freedom was looking to hire some graduates and soon-to-be graduates, and that's how I got introduced about 4 years ago now.
How was Freedom born?
How was Freedom born? It was born out of an idea. We probably spent about 12 months in strategically planning what we were going to do, what we wanted the business to look like, what shape and what form it should appear as. And then we started talking to various big licensees and dealer groups about what level of assistance they could provide. Right from the start, AXA was one of the original players that grabbed our attention, and they were absolutely fantastic in helping us to set up the business.
When I was in business banking, I actually met Ryan and Richard in the financial planning side of things, and we got talking about it. I moved into planning, and then the three of us got talking about our sort of vision. It was all the same. It was all about long-term relationships. It wasn't about quick sales or quick wins. It was about how do we build like a family business for the long term. We all had the same sort of goals. So what we did is we started it together 20 years ago at that time.
What made you get into financial planning in the first place?
Being a lender in ANZ Bank, it was a constantly changing landscape. The rules were constantly changing, the goalposts were constantly changing. Last year's great lending deal was this year's bad lending deal, get it off the books. With financial planning, we figured out every single client we saw we could help. And that's where we went from.
What do you find most rewarding?
Most rewarding is the client relationships. Actually helping someone out, devising a plan from its infancy, rolling out that plan, helping clients with ongoing advice. They come back to us after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and they can't believe the original plan has worked so well for them. They're generally very happy with their lifestyle outcomes, which is really rewarding for us.
The most rewarding thing about what I do is really about taking someone from point A to point B and seeing the relief on their face. They come to visit us and they say, you know what, I don't worry about money anymore. I just go on holidays, I relax, I enjoy it, and I know you guys at Freedom are taking care of everything for us. And to take someone from a point where they're worried about money to a point where they're saying, I never have to worry again, is so rewarding. That's why we're here.
I think one of the most alluring things with financial advice is the ability to help other people. So the sitting down with a client, getting to know their situation and trying to earn their trust and provide them with the ongoing solutions they need.
The fact that I chose this industry was purely just because I love seeing people reach their financial dreams, getting first homeowners into their first homes, seeing people reduce their monthly loan repayments just to help with some cash flow. It's just a really rewarding job.
The most rewarding thing I think at working at Freedom is that client-centred focus. Everybody, whether we're working in the back office or client-facing in the advice firm, we all work towards the same goal, making sure our clients achieve their goals.
That's definitely probably the client's interaction. Yeah, when they reach out to us and require something from their super, from their pension, being able to assist them.
Yeah, I would definitely say the aspect of helping people achieve their financial goals. I guess this was an industry that I felt I had a bit more, excitement in than other industries, and being able to help people achieve what their financial goals are and I guess have a better aspect of what they can have long term was definitely something that I found very rewarding, personally.
I think educating clients, because there's a lot we don't know as human beings in a lot of areas, and being able to educate clients on different areas and just build their confidence as well, I find that's a really rewarding thing.
The thing I find most rewarding about being a financial advisor is being able to see a client when they achieve what they want to, and getting to see them year on year and the change in them, and seeing them so relaxed when they've started out worrying about things and how they're going to the next pay and what they're doing, and then having that information behind them so they come in and they know what we're going to be talking about and they understand why we're doing things, and they'll call me and say, hey look, I've put the money here and I haven't taken this trip and I've done this instead, and they're really excited about it, and that's driven by them, and it is so rewarding to be able to have those discussions and see them excited about their future and how far they've come.
In your experience, how long does it take to get results?
Oh,
feel the results?
To get results, it really doesn't happen overnight. It's not like even a year isn't usually long enough. We really need it to take over 2 or 3 years just to see the starting results, like the start of a nest egg. But really, your 5 or 10 years is to really when you see the great results. When you start looking at people's position from point A to point B in 10 years' time, it's a huge difference. But in that first year or two, it's not so clear. It takes time to build it up. But 5 or 10 years, see great results.
I'd like to think that once a client's become a client of Freedom Financial Planning, they can see the results right away, because by the time we've guided them through the process and showed them how we can help them, I'd like to think they seem pretty satisfied right off the bat.
What do you find challenging day-to-day work?
Challenging, running a business, running the business. We've got a great team of staff at Freedom Financial Planning, but that does change from time to time, so that's one challenging aspect. Other than that, government compliance and regulation is another regular sort of hurdle, or something we always have to keep an eye on.
I think one of the biggest challenges we all face as advisors is trying to help a client with their situation, but working within the compliance regulations that we have in our industry. It's always hard, having to make sure you dot the I's and cross the T's for all of our clients. But the challenges that most clients have, they're pretty much the same for most clients. And that's one of the challenges that I like, is trying to get them a solution.
I guess the common problem that people have is not understanding how it all works. So they might have some super, but they don't understand they can salary sacrifice to save tax and get more in the super. They've got a large super balance later in life, but they're not sure, how do I make that income? Is it going to be enough? I've got $800,000, will that work for me? How do I generate an income stream? They don't understand that. Our job is to try and help them understand that so they can make their own decisions based on our education for them.
I would say the biggest problem or challenge that clients have when they come to see us is understanding how we can help them best, because there's so much misinformation around superannuation and advice and how we integrate the two. And I think that's the biggest hurdle. And once we get through that, I think then we've got a client that's engaging with us and his clients for a long time.
Assisting them with making those decisions as to where best to draw funds from, meeting expenditure requirements, living the lifestyle that they want to live, and how they can best utilise the means they have for it.
Whatever comes my way, definitely help the advisor to help their clients. Whether a client calls or needs something, there's some sort of part that I play in that. So ultimately, whatever it is that people need help with, whether the advisor needs, then I guess I'm that person in the background that helps sort all that out.
Probably the biggest challenge we seem to have these days is compliance. The industry has had a big overhaul in the last few years, and that makes the landscape that we work in consistently changing. So it's just making sure that we can stay up to date with all the changes, still give our clients the best service, but it's very competitive, and stay up with all those changes.
So most common challenges that we solve would be around retirement and how people can get to their retirement, and how they can get there earlier than they want to, or being able to achieve a trip that they never thought they'd be able to do, or being able to help their child out with education, or their grandkids with things that they never want. So the challenge is overcoming the things that they think they can't do, and making them understand that if we go into it all and we make choices and we do needs versus wants, how we can actually get there.
What kind of tips would you give someone in their 20s?
As a client, so I think a lot of young people we meet are probably a little bit reluctant to start thinking about the future. They want to live in the here and now. So I think the advice I'd give to a lot of young people is actually just sit down and listen to what an advisor has to say and take it on board. Don't treat us like your mum and dad and maybe snub your nose at the advice. I think having an advisor help you work through and plan your future is what's going to set you up for when you eventually retire.
For clients in the early 20s, I would say the main focus should be about, one, getting into a career that is engaging and rewarding, but also helps them generate income. And the next thing from a financial goal perspective should be about trying to save for and purchase a house. Because having that stability of where you live makes a massive difference long term.
In their 20s. Yeah, never too early to start thinking about long-term goals, whether it's planning for your kids' future, what your family needs might be, looking ahead a little bit beyond those early years.
Tips. I would probably say the biggest thing is delayed gratification. And that's definitely a lot that with clients, nothing happens instantaneously, and sometimes there's the aspect of a little bit of sacrifice. But if you're willing to delay, then you can be rewarded in tenfold for that. And I think for myself, being 24, having a house as well, buying at 21 and having all those sorts of things, that came from the aspect of a little bit of sacrifice early and delaying some certain things. Doesn't mean you don't get what you want, but it's more you pick and choose when's the right time for that. So I think that's definitely a great thing for younger people.
I think there's probably a bit of a misconception with younger clients that they think, oh, it's not really for me at this point in time. That's something I'll deal with later in life. I do think that is a very incorrect view of it, because it is just really important to start learning and educating yourself in these different fields while you're younger, so you can just put your groundwork in now and be in a position that you want to be when you get closer to retirement and along the way.
So advice to a young startup client in their 20s would be to start then. Don't wait until you're 50 and then start saving for super and saving for retirement. Start having that discussion with someone at that point, because your needs will change over the years, but we're aware of that. We know that if you're in your 20s, you've got a young family, then the things are going to be around paying for school and paying for education and managing debt, because at that stage most likely you might have a loan. And then after that, it's going to be getting to the stage where you're saving for family holidays maybe, or you're setting up investment accounts, and eventually you're getting money into super and you've got insurance, and then you get to that retirement stage. So it is a great time to be starting at that point.
What advice would you give someone in their 30s?
Okay, never too early to start planning. Every small incremental step you take will help you in the future. So it's never too early to start planning.
For someone in their 30s wanting to just start building their own financial planning, trying to build their future, it's really about trying to get themselves in a good position. So first thing is saving some money, building up some cash, maybe a deposit for a house, getting some equity in their house, and then looking at other options, whether they borrow to invest above that, whether they start to add to super. Depends on their family situation. Just starting those simple steps, it doesn't look like much at first, but just getting a little bit of equity, a little bit of savings behind them, and it'll just build from there.
What age should someone consider looking and planning for retirement?
I think it's never too early. It's also never too late as well. We've met a lot of clients over the years that I think they think that retirement planning should be just before they retire. And we have a lot of other people that are on the other end that start early, and yeah, sooner the better. But certainly once your family situations maybe has lessened, the kids maybe have left home, and finally you can actually get some time to yourself to think about the future, that's usually when it happens.
Thinking about retirement is actually one of the most complex times in someone's life. There are so many choices, the allocated pension structures, different types of annuities, there's so many things, Centrelink, it's really quite complicated. So if you're getting close to retirement, before you do it, get advice. Come and see us at Freedom, see anyone, get some advice from someone who knows how to do it, because you can save thousands by structuring it properly before you retire. Sometimes people come to us a bit too late, and we can do some things, but we've missed some opportunities. Come and see us sooner rather than later.
What about someone that's thinking about retirement?
Come and see us straight away. Come and see us. Never think it's too late to start financial planning. There is always something we can do to help people, whether it be to improve their overall assets, to help with their taxation issues, to structure incomes in retirement, to assist with Centrelink issues, looking at estate planning, wills and those types of things. There is always something we can do. There's never a client we can't help in some way.
Yes, when it comes to when people need their money, whatever aspects of life that come around, so retirement, even just circumstances that change in their financial situation. So yeah, honestly, a lot of our clients are dealing with a lot in terms of retirement, soon to be retired, and definitely helping a lot in those aspects, helping them get best prepared for that and implement all of that for them as well to best help them for upcoming years and for their life expectancy as well.
Retirement planning conversations should start early, but I think up until you're in your late 30s, it really should be about focus on your family, focus on your career, get a house, get ahead on the mortgage, and make sure you have the insurances in place. After about 40, then you can start casting an eye for retirement planning.
Where do you see the industry going in the next 5-10 years?
I think the industry is actually looking good in the sense that there's a lot of opportunities for advisors to help clients out there. Working within the regulations of compliance and so forth is one of the biggest hurdles we've got. But I think overall, I think it's looking really good for clients out there to get good, consistent, trustworthy advice.
Look, the industry's been through a really tough period, over the last 5 years or so. It's come out the other side. Hopefully the regulation is, apart from making things a bit more difficult, it's actually weeded out some of the bad operators. The industry should be able to move forward now much more cleanly. It should be able to go into the next 10 or 15 years without all the fear and concern for clients, and just continue to grow, because people are always needing advice.
My industry it's huge. So when I started, it was around 6% of all clients would go through a mortgage broker, because back then brokers were considered last resort. Most people went straight to the bank. Now it's 74% of all people are using a mortgage broker to finance their loan.
I would like to see the industry, I don't know if it's necessarily going to go that way, but I'd like to see it get back to what it should be, which is people dealing face-to-face with clients and understanding their situation and how we can help them. You can help people with AI and things along those lines, but I think it's that face-to-face contact.
I definitely see there's definitely a lot of room for growth. I know personally there's still a lot of growth in my understanding of the industry and even my career progression as well. Again, I still would consider myself a baby in the industry, only been in 4 years. But I definitely see a lot of room for growth even for myself. But definitely seeing good things and high hopes, and I think it's definitely something that people to keep an eye on and see what happens.
I definitely think the compliance side of things in the industry might come back a little bit, but there's definitely a lot of opportunity for growth in the industry, for clients. It's still a very in-demand industry field. It's very important. That's never going to change. So it's just making sure that advisors and practices continue to support clients in a way that best suits them, and it allows businesses to still operate.
In terms of where the industry is going in the next few years, hopefully we're able to help a broader range of people out there. If you look at the statistics, there are a lot of people that aren't seeing financial advisors at the moment that should be able to, and hopefully the government assists in making it affordable for everyone and making it enough of a profession that people feel comfortable to come and see a financial advisor, because at the end of the day, that's what needs to be happening to make sure that they're getting the best out of life.
Is there a minimum household income for someone sees a financial advisor?
In my opinion, no. There's a lot of aspects when it comes to financial planning. So I think that even if it might not be necessarily the investment side, there's always still insurances. There are a lot of things that are entwined. So I don't think that's necessarily the be-all and end-all, but it just depends on everyone's goals and what they are wanting to achieve also as to whether it's appropriate for them or not.
What advice would you give someone looking to buy their first home?
Save from a very young age as much as you can. Get used to making repayments. Now, that might not be taking out a personal loan or a car loan, but just putting money aside on a regular basis. Starts with savings. Most first home buyers that I speak to now do need help from parents, so if you can get in good with the parents, then that helps. But I think start with something that's affordable. Don't think that you're going to buy your forever home as the first home. Maybe start with an apartment or something small in an area maybe that you might not want to be in long term. Just make it affordable.
I think sometimes that people are saving for their first home, they do forget about little tips and tricks that possibly even comes into play with superannuation, and just even taxable, how to possibly reduce their taxable income, which ultimately can help them save more for a first home. So just educating yourself, having a budget in place. Consistency is probably the biggest thing.
What advice would you give a young family with a couple of kids that want to upgrade their home that they already have a mortgage?
Yeah, so families that come to me who want to upgrade their home, I tend to tell them just to spend time researching areas, especially if they've got young kids and they want to work out which schools and high schools, universities, all these things matter. Look at what is in the area and then choose something that is close to those areas. If you can be close to transport, shops, but main thing is that as kids grow up, if you can be close to where your parents are living, ideally that helps because they are going to be there to help support the family as they grow up. But at the end of the day, I think it's again being realistic with your goals and doing something that you can afford.
The number one thing I would say to anybody with young kids or families with lots of kids is make sure you set up your insurance correctly. Make sure you've got income protection, number one. because you never know what's around the corner, and having that income carry on in the event of something unforeseen happening makes a world of difference.
I guess it depends. Everyone's got different situations, but it is really important that people are aware of, say, their insurances and how to protect themselves and their family in a lot of different situations. So definitely speaking to a financial advisor is really important, and it does help you set yourself up for the future that you and your partner or your family want.
What are some misconceptions about
A common misconception about financial planners is that you need millions and millions of dollars to need one, and that is not the case. Everyone needs a financial advisor. Everyone needs to discuss their finances in a more open way than what happens, because it is a very complex area. That is why it is a profession and why it's a job. And everyone can benefit from being able to talk to someone and seeing the things that's missing that we don't know about. We all go to see a GP, or some people Google first, but we all eventually go to see a doctor when we have a medical need. And it's the same thing with finances. We would strongly recommend that everyone talk to someone. Even if they then say, okay, there's nothing we can do at this time, these kind of steps will get you to a better position. There is always a need for it.
Since started to work at Freedom, have you gotten better at managing your own finances?
Oh, I think 100%. I'm still quite young, only 24, and I would definitely say having a hand in the finance industry, and I think this definitely is an amazing team and support getting from the office, and even with our mortgage broker, I think all aspects of that area of finance definitely helped me in my own financial situation and helped me get to where I am, and as I guess my life changes as well, being able to get the support and even guidance from the team, I think has helped me definitely on a personal level.
What's your go-to joke at the pub?
Go-to joke at the pub. Get back to work, time up, we've had enough to eat.
Not sure I could say it. Look, I don't have one go-to joke. Anyone that knows me know that I love a dad joke, and most of my humour is off-the-cuff sort of humour. Lots of quotes from movies, so I just throw in lines whenever I can.
Oh God, no dad jokes. Next.
Oh, God. I don't think I've got any. There's no jokes left in here. There's too much compliance.
My go-to dad joke is a classic. Whenever somebody says Denise, the next answer or the next point should be, what about the nephew?
What's happening tonight? What's this night all about?
Tonight is our annual movie night for our clients. Tonight is about giving back to our clients. There's some information for the clients. We've got a fund manager coming to talk about one of the global share funds that they manage for our clients. But it's also about getting together as a community and enjoying the film afterwards. We've been running these for 15 plus years. It's been great. We get between 150 and 300 clients that come along, enjoy the night and learn something along the way as well.
Tonight's about giving back to our clients. So it's an appreciation just for the trust that they have in us in doing what we do. And so tonight's about them, about bringing their friends and family along, having a good time and getting to know the rest of our team.
Now tonight is our annual movie night, and it's the most rewarding day of the year for us because it's just a thank you to our clients. It's an informal meeting where we get everybody together and they can see that Freedom is a big family, not just the one advisor or the one support person that might deal with it. There's actually a full team behind, all trying to help them out.
A bit of a fun night, I think, for the clients, and just for us to get to know them and bring their family along and for us to meet and mingle.
Tonight is all about rewarding our clients and getting a little get-together, seeing our clients outside of the workspace, getting their friends and families involved, and just a sort of out-of-office space.
Tonight is about rewarding our clients and saying thank you for being there for us and for supporting us and to allow us to run the business that we have and to have that friendship and that relationship with our clients. It's all about them. We're here at the end of the day because of them. We wake up every day happy to go to work because of them. So it's about saying thank you back to them for that.